So we just ended day 2 of the new 3.22, 3.23. I don't even know what it is at this point. The Trial of the Ancestors League, whatever this league is. I haven't gone very, very deep into it. I've probably beaten about 5 to 7, 8, maybe that absolute max 7 or 8 tournaments. It's a pretty cool little mechanic. Sir Gog actually had a pretty good video this morning talking about his experience with it. He goes a full playthrough basically of a tournament and he talks about his strategy and everything. I think there's a lot of depth that we can kind of discover as it levels up and we get into all of the mechanics there and everything, but it's pretty interesting. I think the big thing is tattoos and that's what everyone's excited about. So those are huge. I think there's incredible build potential with the tattoos, but the tournament experience itself, just the one-liner for me is I think it's pretty cool. It's really fun right now. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it after about 2 weeks. I can see myself being pretty bored of it after a couple weeks of doing it. Maybe something that I dip my toes into once or twice a day. That's okay, I guess. Maybe if the rewards are really there, I'll do it, but it's cool. I think it's fine. That in conjunction with the fact that Sanctum is back. Super, super awesome. I guess we'll just switch to the main scene right now. Super awesome is that I ran 1 Sanctum and I got a Divine out of it. So it's already like, let's go. I'm already excited about that. Yeah, mostly what I want to talk to you guys about today is the Firetrap Elementalist, my day 2 updates, where it is today. Short of it is we are exactly in line with what I predicted in the build guide. Honestly, I actually spent less, much, much less than I estimated. Trying to keep all the prices as realistic as anyone can judge, keeping it as low as possible. Currently level 88. You can see right there, level 88. And I've tracked everything. I even tracked what I spent on the multi-craft and everything, every single item, every tattoo, every essence, and I've spent 66 chaos. Now, there's a couple extra fusings, chromes, and jewelers that I used, but I didn't buy any. I only used the ones that I picked up off the ground, and you can see I still have a ton. So I didn't use like a lot. So I'm not including that in the price. Feel free to, say I used a little bit more. But in terms of what I actually purchased and what I actually used, and it's all on the stream. I'll share the VOD in the description below if you want to see exactly where all the items came from. I did it all on stream today. This is now at least the 10th time, if we're counting my practice runs, Exarch Eater runs, at least the 10th time that I've put this build together. And it's as good as ever. It's actually better than ever, because we have tattoos now. I killed Exarch and Eater at the beginning of the stream today. I ended the stream yesterday without doing it because I was just super tired. Did it first thing on the stream today, and then we started upgrading the gear. Performing great with mostly gear that I picked up off the ground or, a couple bases that I bought. We'll see, if we look at the, the items that I purchased here, it is not very much. I'm at the point now, I'm still under 1 million DPS technically. I'm at 839,000 DPS. But that's enough. You can kill Exarch and Eater with, dot DPS under 1 million, and it still feels pretty good. Yeah, it looks like my lightning res is not capped, but that's because of the tattoos. In terms of putting it together, going through the campaign, that was really fast. It was just incredibly smooth. Including an hour and a half of doing really, really slow tournaments. I don't recommend, if you haven't started leveling yet, do not do the tournaments or any of the Trial of the Ancestors. If you want to do it, go for it. But it's just really inefficient. Your character is going to be so slow. The monsters are really tanky. It's a waste of time until your character is kind of put together. I spent about an hour and a half or so. That was a rough estimate doing tournaments while I was leveling up. And I still killed Kitava at about 6.5 hours. So about a 5-hour Kitava run, which is not bad. I wasn't trying to go really fast or anything. I was taking my time and talking to people and just kind of chilling. And then we just did maps for a while. I got 2 early red maps before I ended the stream yesterday night. And then I was really tired. That was like 3 a.m. And then first thing in the morning, I upgraded my gear a little bit. We spent, 60-ish chaos or so. And then we killed Exarch and Eater, and it felt really good. And then we did a bunch of tournaments. I did Sanctum, and this is where I am today. So that's the whole history right there. We'll just talk about the gear and what I upgraded. So, I had really, really trash gear. Oh, also I have, put this POB in the description as well, so you can see exactly what I'm wearing. In terms of upgrading your gear, there's 2 different avenues you want to focus on: offense and defense. And there's definitely parts where they kind of dovetail together and you want to, you can't make a couple changes without the other ones. But the big one that I recommend doing basically right away is getting that lightning coil. And the lightning coil is absolutely dirt cheap. There are people saying, oh, if everyone recommends a lightning coil, it's going to be worth so much. I bought this for 5 chaos earlier today. Looks like there's a bunch at 8 chaos right now, but Yeah, it's very, very cheap. Grab it while you can. What this does is 50% fizz taken as lightning, only hits, not damage over time. Minus 60 lightning res. You get some life on there and really nice armor and evasion, which is great. So normally this minus 60 lightning res is a pain in the butt. However, we have the int tattoo, the small int tattoo of the Velako Stormrider for plus 8 lightning res. I bought a bunch of them. How many did I buy? I am using 11 of them. So that's giving me 88 lightning resistance just on these tattoos. You know, I lose 110 intelligence, but I still have a good amount. And this just totally makes up for lightning res. That makes the rest of our gearing very, very easy. These were 1 chaos earlier today. I'm sure there's still 1 chaos. Yep, so you can just buy a bunch of these. 1 chaos for this, really, really easy. Toss that on. And then that allows you to put on a lightning coil really easy. When you get your lightning coil, you'll buy this for 5 to 10 chaos, whatever the price is. The price might be going up a little bit as people have some more chaos, but I bet you by the end of tomorrow, it's probably going to start going back down again as the supply goes up. And again, this is a solo self-found farmable item. You can just go for the card. Then you want to buy the tattoo of the Velako Stormriders, put those on your int nodes, and your lightning res is taken care of. This solves your physical damage mitigation in a lot of ways. That on top of the Chaos Golem, our physical damage, we're feeling really, really good right now. So that gives us a flat, 37 plus 8 for a 45% physical damage reduction. That's way better than any armor we're going to get. So the cool thing is we also, you know, when my flasks are up, I still have 12k armor, which is not amazing. Like I could absolutely just drop in Grace right now, probably take fewer hits. That is the thing in the back of my head. And that might be the better choice, honestly, but I'm kind of on the fence about that. The cool thing about this is, you know, armor scales based on the size of the hit. And just by having a decent amount of armor, after, you know, cutting that damage almost in half, that makes the effectiveness of the armor significantly more effective. And now physical damage hits that come in are, you know, we can kind of just shrug most of them off, and it makes a big, big difference. So I think that's the biggest thing that I would recommend just to making the build more comfortable. As soon as you have about 20 chaos, you know, get that lightning coil, get those tattoos. It'll solve your lightning res as well. You know, basically no downside, and you're going to feel really good. Not to mention 1,000 armor and evasion rating. Get that done ASAP. And then the second thing that I would do is get fire exposure on your gloves. You can search for it. People are currently price gouging for it. I got this on my second Eldritch Ichor. I think it's Eldritch Ichor, Eater of Worlds, yeah. So I got this on my second one that dropped. You know, I definitely got pretty lucky there. It can take you about 40 or 50, I think. That's like the average variance. But once you do hit fire exposure on your gloves, then you can buy an Eye of Malice. Now, I know that Eye of Malice has a 25% chance to give you that fire exposure, but you know, you don't want it to be unreliable. You could very easily go 5 or 6 hits in a row. If you don't get that fire exposure and you don't curse the enemies, Eye of Malice is actually doing the opposite of what you want it to. So until you inflict that exposure and get their res into the negative, then Eye of Malice is actually a downside for the build. So I don't recommend doing that until you get the gloves. You can just go for a good rare helm, spell suppression, stuff like that. Eldritch Implicits for flammability, curse effect for a little bit more damage. That's okay and it's valid. You know, Eye of Malice is the best in slot. So basically the 2 directions you want to go, lightning coil with the tattoos and then fire exposure and the helmet. Basically with that combined, you're feeling pretty good. So after that, you want to get some spell suppression. I bought this boot base for Fractured Boot Base, 8 Chaos. And I did that specifically. You can get a lot for cheaper, but I wanted Evasion and Energy Shield to make it easier to get the colors that I want. It's really hard to get enough red and blue sockets in this build because, or specifically red sockets, because we're usually going for Evasion and Energy Shield bases. And because of that, like, you know, blue sockets are tough to get and we want a lot of those. On the search, all you have to do here is type in boots. We want tilde frac spell sup. And we want to set that to a minimum of 10. Search like that, and you can see there's a bunch that are not very expensive. This is exactly the same pair that I have right here. You know, it's just lower item level, 79 on mine, 8 chaos. Like that is ideal because you want a little bit of energy shield to make it easier to get the socket colors. It's not the worst to buy just the pure evasion ones either. So yep, you can grab this pretty easily. The gloves are currently a bit more expensive, and the prices were lower at the beginning of the day. At League Start, basically the way that prices work is they're very, very cheap. When the supply of Chaos and Divines is very low, everything just costs less. You know, 2 to 5 Chaos, you know, represents a lot of buying power early on, and then it represents a lot less while the supply of the items is still low. So then the price is going to go up, but then eventually the price, the items themselves flood the market, and then, you know, even the same amount of Chaos will buy, you know, more powerful items. The demand for low tier stuff goes down very, very quickly. So if we look for gloves right now, Fracture 10, Spell Suppression, not bad. We could maybe even grab some of these. These are corrupted. That's just trash. But, you know, if I could grab this for 5 chaos, you know, right now. Nah, someone got it. All right, damn. Just try to grab 10 spell suppression. Doesn't really matter what the base is. I'm probably going to grab this one. Item level. Yeah, I might wait. Like, I'm actually just not in a rush. So I'm going to wait until the price goes down. You know, I think that's totally okay. I'm going to craft a new pair of gloves, though. That's basically the first thing that's going to upgrade my gear. Yeah, this person already crafted, look, Essence of Delirium right there. That's basically what we want to do. But the rest of the item sucks. This person's just trying to profit craft. Watch out for those guys. I'm just going to wait till the supply goes up. You know, I'm in no rush. The big thing is I have to wait until I can get fire exposure on hit anyway. It's not usable until then. And my supply of these is very low right now. Besides that, I just have a random wand that I found on the ground. And I crafted Fire Dot Multi. It is in, you know, it's right here. We crafted Fire Dot Multi on it. And very usable, just ground gloves. I found this heavy belt on the ground from an expedition. I hit it with, I think, an Essence of Hatred for cold res, just a low tier Essence of Hatred. And I just hit triple res, crafted some regen on it, and why not? So that's my belt. Both my rings are just off the ground. Same thing, this just came from a betrayal, so I unveiled the power charges on it, but this just came from doing an Ashling mission. Nothing special here. I just have agility allocated at the moment. And then the shield, how much did I spend for the shield? The Fractured Shield base was 1 chaos. So let's take a look at shields. Fractured spell suppression on a shield. This is 14, actually. Yeah, I sniped that puppy up pretty good. Ah, no, look at that. Real easy. So that's a lower tier, right? Yeah, that's still tier 3. So you can buy these very, very cheap. Just, you know, ideally it would have some energy shield on it for, you know, a little bit of that, but no big deal. You can go for pure evasion if you want. You can go for a little bit more spell suppression. If you want to do that, that'd probably feel pretty good. But yeah, the cool thing about this one is it has, you know, the spell suppression implicit as well, which gives us a little bit more. So this is actually 17 on this, this base. And then I hit it with an Essence of Envy or a couple. I actually kept rolling on it. I think I wanted something better than what I ended up with. I ended up using 12 Essences of Envy at 2 chaos each. And I never hit anything awesome. You know, as you can see, the crit chance for spells is okay. It helps us keep our elemental overload up, but I just kept rolling and I was just kind of getting a little frustrated. I hit the crit chance and I was like, all right, whatever, craft life and go. So that's my shield. That's all I got on it. That is all my gear in terms of the passives. Oh, I do have a couple of these other tattoos. These are ones that I've just gotten from doing tournaments. You get them when you win tournaments. So those are just, I didn't buy those. They're just whatever. And I have a couple jewels right here. I bought these for very, very cheap. This guy and this guy right here, I bought them for 2 and 3 chaos. And so for a total of 66 chaos, you know, I'm sure you could find a couple chromes or something if you want to change that price there. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at. I'm feeling really good. I'm happy with that. Next steps are glove upgrade. Go for at least a 5 socket. 5 link would be pretty good. That'd be a nice little upgrade. But Exarch and Eater, we're very smooth. We have a ton of sustain. I have 482 life regen per second, 52 spell suppression, you know, 25 spell block, and it's actually 82 spell suppression with the lucky. So it's not too bad. So, yep, that's the build right now. The POB is below. That's my update. We're going to keep upgrading it tomorrow, and I'm probably going to take this build all the way until 40 out of 40 in Ubers. That's my plan. So if you want to keep following along, you can subscribe and, you know, give the video a thumbs up if you like the, you know, the updates and everything, and we'll keep them going. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on stream tomorrow. Bye.